Okay, my little wombats, here we go. We are going to be using this sheet to learn how to properly align things with our rulers. So, find the link in the description to download this worksheet because it's going to help give us a lot of practice using this. That's right, a ruler. Maybe you think you know how to use a ruler. Maybe you say, I've measured stuff before, I've drawn a line here and there. But what I found in teaching fifth graders and fourth graders and third graders and possibly even some adults that were following along, we don't have a lot of practice. Everyone doesn't have a lot of practice aligning things with our ruler properly before drawing our line. Because I kind of assumed that, and it ended up with a lot of frustration and erasing and things just not lining up the way they should. So, just to get everybody on the same page, we're going to work on the same page. And that is this page. And that is a page of ordinary, everyday, two-dimensional, boring objects that we are going to turn into three-dimensional objects. Three-dimensional, like a building cityscape. When we're in a helicopter and we're looking down and all these buildings are coming up at us. So, what we're going to do is draw lines from all the right places on these shapes going down to a central disappearing point. And you will find it clearly indicated with this dot. So, the first step in the first line, first we're going to identify the shape that's closest to our disappearing point, and that's this square right here. And we're going to be rotating our page, our paper, throughout this entire exercise. So, put the paper wherever you want it to be to make it easy for you to draw your lines. I'm using a mechanical pencil, but a regular pencil will work. And I'm using a clear ruler, which is nice because I can see through it. But a regular ruler will work fine. Just inspect your edge, because if someone has been misusing their ruler, like banging it on the edge of a table or a desk or something, you might have a lot of dents in here, which might still work for measuring, but for drawing nice straight lines, it'll give you a big old hiccup right in the middle, bumps, and it'll be very sad and frustrating. So treat your rulers nicely, and your ruler will treat you nicely. Okay, so here is the method. First, we take our pencil and we place it on the disappearing point. Then what we do is bring the ruler in and just touch it to our pencil. So now, no matter how we rotate or position this ruler, any line I draw will go to this black dot right here, which is our disappearing point. So, align the pencil with the dot, bring your ruler to it, and now we can rotate until we get to the corner of this box. We begin to just get up right there. Now, I'm holding it firmly with my left hand. I'm going to draw with my right hand. Now I can pick this pencil up because these 2 points are aligned. If I'm left-handed, obviously the situation is reversed. I'm holding it still with my left hand and bring the ruler up with my right hand. So now that that's in the right spot, these 2 points are aligned. Now we can drop that line in, either starting from the disappearing point and ending at the corner, or starting at the corner, ending at the disappearing point. We like to pull things in art. Pull, paint, pushing kind of works, but works better to pull. Either way, we've got our line. Boom. Well, not too exciting yet, but just wait. We're going to get a lot of practice and muscle memory doing the same drill, and it's going to transform the sheet into a crazy 3D popping out at your face cityscape. All right, we're going to do the same thing again. Rotate my paper a little. Pencil goes down on your disappearing point, and the ruler comes up to it. Rotate until you're aligned. Oh, I went too far. I gotta back up again. Now I get to that corner and draw on that line. Boom. There we go. What is that? That just looks like a triangle. Well, maybe it'll help when we get our third line in. Put the pencil on the dot. Bring the ruler to it. Rotate. Boink. All right, there we go. Now it's looking a little more 3D, isn't it? Does that look like we're looking down a building that's disappearing into the mist below? Or you look at it this way. Oh, does it look like a train track or something heading way off into the distance. Let's keep going. All right, let's find the next closest one. Hey, this one will do. Same method. Pencil to the disappearing point. Bring the ruler to it and rotate until you get just to that first corner there. Draw your line. There you go. Same deal. Next corner. Do. There we go. All right, let's do it again. We're going to go up to the very last corner like that. All right, well, what about this corner? Should we draw a line between the disappearing point and that corner? No, not if we want our building to seem solid. If it was a crystal clear ice building or something like that, maybe we'd see that corner, that edge. There is a line there. It's just on the other side. From our point of view, we don't see it. There's a line going down here, but it's on the back side. Understandably. All right, that's looking a little more interesting. Let's go to the third square here. Same maneuver. We're going to get lots of practice with this. Keep your pencil in place firmly enough that the ruler won't offset it or pass it by. But you don't have to bang it so hard that you break your pencil lead or anything like that. All right, I'm lined up. I can move my pencil now. I can draw this way or that. There we go. Let's keep going. Boink. I'm going to keep rotating. Pencil goes here. Ruler aligns with the corner. There we go. All right, those really look like they're coming out at you, don't they? All right, well, let's add a little something interesting. What about this one? This one's not a square. That's a very thin building. I wonder what they make in that building. Tall, thin things. But the method is the same. Pencil on the disappearing point. Ruler touches it. And then I don't draw my line until my ruler is in the right place. Measure twice, cut once. Don't hurry up the ruler part because it's all in the alignment. If it's not lined up, then your objects aren't going to look 3D. It's just going to look like they have lines drawn on them. There we go. 2 out of 3. Another up here. All right. Now it's starting to shape up. Whoa. What's up with this building? This building's got a hole in it. It's like a square donut. Future donut building. The future is here. The future is square donuts. All right. Let's give it a shot. Let's see. Come to the first corner. Looks about the same as what we're used to. All right. No big whoop. All right. Let's do the next corner. Here we go. Sorry for that reflection. Let's move somewhere else like this. All right. Pencil to the point. Bring the ruler to it. And rotate until you get to the corner and then stop. There we go. All right. Now how do we handle this hole? We've got more corners. We did those 3 corners. We know we don't do the back corner because that's invisible. How about this corner? Let's test it with our ruler. No. This is a solid surface. That's all solid. I don't think these lines would show, but wait a minute. What about that back corner? Very back corner. Yeah, we would see a line there, but only until it gets here. So this is why it's important to be able to clamp down your ruler. See, we lined it up with this disappearing point. Then we lined up with this inside corner of our inside shape. But because of this wall, I'm not going to draw it all the way down to the disappearing point. I'm going to start the line and I'm going to stop right when it gets obscured by the front face of our donut building here. So I start at the corner, come down, 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 stop! All right, now it looks like a hole. That looks like a big pit, a huge atrium built into this building. It was way down. There we go. So even though this line doesn't go all the way, it still has to align with our disappearing point. It still has to point there. If we just picked a random way and drew it, we wouldn't know what to make of that. But our brain wants to see 3D. So when it looks at this, it sees a hole there. You could toss a basketball and it would fall down, 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 down in the middle of that building. Wacky. Oh, speaking of wacky, look at this wacky building. It's all zigzagged. I wonder what they make in that building. Probably Cheetos or something. All right. Let's line up with the outside corner, and whoa, we're running into the same issue. We've got a solid object here, but we still have to draw the edge of that building. We do the same thing. I use my pencil trick to line up my ruler, and then line it up, align the 2 points, but I'm not going to draw all the way here. I'm going to start here. Oh, I wasn't holding my ruler firmly enough. Start there. And come down, down, down until we reach that obstruction, which is the building that's closer to us. That makes sense. The one that's closer is going to block the ones that are farther away. All right, let's go to the other corner of our building. Pencil to the disappearing point. Ruler touches it. Over, 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 over. I went too far. Back up, back up, back up. Oh, just when it becomes visible. And hey, look at that. We're getting blocked by future donut building here. So we're going to start at the corner. Come down and stop. Stop right there. This edge is behind that building. This edge is behind that building. All right, are we done with the zigzag building? No. Oh, the kids say no. What? Oh, we got another corner right there. Is that corner going to be hidden behind this building? Well, I don't know, just off the top of my head. But the ruler will tell us. Tell us the answer. The answer is, oh, it goes right past that building. So it actually goes all the way down. Even though this line doesn't go all the way down, and this line doesn't go all the way down. This one does, because it's right in the gap between these two solid objects. All right, are we done now? No, we have another corner, an inside corner. Well, that makes sense, because this edge creates a plane that kind of faces this way. This edge, this has two different planes. They're facing two different directions. That one's going out that way. This one's coming down this way. So we have to add another facet there, another definition. And it scoots past the donut building too. But we still start at the top, come down, 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 down to the disappearing point. All right, now that looks a lot more 3D, all right? Each side of the top of the building, or the cross section, you could take a slice out of the middle of that building, it'll still look like this zigzag. Each edge creates a new plane. All right, moving on, moving on. Whoa, look at this crazy building. That's a lightning bolt. All right, I think we can handle it. I think we can. Come here, ruler. All right, pencil on the disappearing point. Bring the ruler to it. And rotate up, 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 up until we just about touch that corner. Boom. So far, so good. What about this corner here? Oh, we can test it with our ruler. No, that's behind. That goes behind there, so we don't see that at all. But this little jig jog in the middle, yeah, we see that. There we go. How about the very point of the lightning bolt? Let's go line up with that. I feel like I should do something like this so you guys can see better. Stop. There we go. Lined up with the point, just like that. Oh, and we're going behind this building, so we come down and stop. Stop right there. So part of this building is obscured behind that one. All right, are we done? We did the edges in the middle. Well, what about this corner right here? Let's give it a test. Oh, no, that's obscured by this part. Even though that's the front of the building, it's still hidden from us because it zigzags so much. And whoa, what about that crazy thing right there? While we're testing corners. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's the back side of the building, but because this is such an extreme jig jog, we can actually see part of the back of the building. But it ends right there because the top obscures it. So we're actually seeing kind of the back side of that building as it heads to the same disappearing point. All right, here we go. What do you think is the trickiest shape on here? Is it hexagon? Is it the star? Well, let's do the star. Come around, rotate. All right, the star. Let's start by doing the points. Points of the star. What's the point? That's the point. That's another point. It's 5 points. This star makes a lot of points, doesn't it? Up we go to the point. Stop. There we go. On to the next point. No, stop. Good, good. These make it all the way down. They're not obstructed by anything. Up, 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 up. There we go. Is that it? Do we have to do any more points? Well, let's check. Check with the ruler and see if we run over anything. No. We're running right over this, so that's not really visible. And probably not that one. Well, let's give it a check. Just while we're here, we got our pencil, we got our ruler. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. There's a little sliver. A wee little triangle right there. Now, that's the kind of little detail that really sells this as a 3D object. Are we done with that? No, there's inside corners. You're right. Gotta do the inside corners. Can't forget about them. Pencil on the disappearing point. Bring your ruler to it. Rotate until we get to that inside corner. I took my ruler away too quickly, and then there's a little bend at the end. But that's okay. We all make little mistakes here and there. Another inside corner. Bring the ruler to your pencil. And up. Alright, that star is completely defined. We're really getting somewhere. Okay, let's try this rectangle over here. This guy. That seems like a pretty plain old rectangle. What could that possibly teach us? Well, let's investigate with our ruler. Send the ruler up to the first corner. Alright, send the ruler up to the second corner. Right there. And stop. Now, send the ruler to the third corner. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is the first thing we've drawn that only has 2 lines going to it. How is that? Why is this rectangle, this square rectangle, all of these have at least 3 lines. This rectangle has 3 lines. Some have more. This one only has 2. It's because of its orientation, how it's oriented from our point of view. Our point of view is right here. We're the helicopter floating right above this dot where everything's disappearing. And that one happens to be just facing us perfectly so that we don't see either of the sides. You can imagine this shape rotating. If it rotated this way, we'd start seeing that side a little more, a little more, a little more, and this side would be gone. If it rotated that way, we'd see something from this side. Interesting. Only defined by 2 lines. Did we know that off the top of our heads? We didn't. But we checked with the ruler, and that's what it told us. The ruler does not lie. How about this little guy back here? He's tucked behind the other buildings, so go and stop behind Future Donut. Do the next one. Very similar. Stop. And one more. Up, 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 up. Come on down. Alright, here we go. Looking pretty good. Alright, so what is the trickiest shape on here? The trickiest shape is actually probably the first shape you ever learned as a tiny little baby. The circle. The circle? How is that tricky? Well, so far we've been drawing lines to corners, and the circle has no corners. Or, as one 4th grader typed up and said, maybe it has infinite corners. Didn't expect that out of a 4th grader, but yeah, I mean, we're drawing this line and we keep turning, so maybe that's an infinite number of corners. It has both 0 corners and infinite corners. I don't know. A professional geometrist can tell me if there is such a thing. I don't know if there's much call for that. Okay, so the trick is, since we don't have any corners, we're not going to draw a line right to the middle. We're not going to draw a line to the backside. What we're going to do is just put our pencil down on a disappearing point, bring the ruler to it, and we just rotate until the very first time the ruler touches that shape. And then we go up, and that's the outside of this circular building. Same thing for the other side. Again, we're only defined by 2 lines because there's no other features. it's identical as it rotates. It wouldn't change at all. Unlike this building would change. It would have 3 lines if it started rotating. The circle, if it rotated, it would still only have 2 lines, and they'd be in the same place. From what we've defined here, we wouldn't even be able to tell. This could be rotating right now, but it's not. So, those of you that are thinking back or thinking forward to high school might realize that this line is what we call tangent. It's tangent to the circle. All right. It does not intersect in the middle. It runs just tangent. Like if you're running along the circle and you decided to go straight at this point, yeah, that's where you would go. If you're going along the circle and decided to just start going straight, that's where you would go. All right. That's how you handle the shape with no corners. This one's got a lot of corners. What do you think they make in the hexagon building? Maybe stop signs? No, stop signs are octagonal. You failed driver's ed. Just kidding. You guys have a lot of time to study the driver's ed book. We're going to use the same method. I'm going to go to the outside just for fun. What do they make in the hexagon building? I don't know. What's hexagons? Do they help bees create their honeycombs? Do they make Settlers of Catan tiles? Don't know. All right. But it sure looks a heck of a lot more 3D like this. All right. One more building to go, and our city is complete. Pencil on the disappearing point. Bring the ruler to it. And draw that line. Same deal. Pencil on the disappearing point. Rotate until we're lined up with that corner, and then and only then we draw our line. All right, one more to do. Boom. Oh, I moved. I wasn't holding my ruler strongly enough. Stay firm. Now go. All right. There we go. A little thicker line. What's interesting about this building? Well, we're talking about point of view and rotation and everything. This is the short side of the rectangle, and this is the long side of the rectangle. But as you look at these planes, we're seeing a lot more of this plane than that plane. Why'd the shorter side make a bigger plane and the longer side made a smaller plane? Well, it's all our point of view. If it rotated this way, this plane gets bigger and bigger, that one gets smaller and smaller. There we go. So, this method of alignment works anytime you're drawing a straight line with a ruler. You don't have to have a worksheet like this. You don't have to have blue little objects drawn on here. You put your pencil down, bring the ruler to it, and then you rotate anywhere you want to go. Even if that line hasn't been defined yet, you're just trying to send a line out that way. You get your ruler lined up just how you want it. Now, if I had 3 hands, what I'd probably do is put another pencil over here. That way I could have 2 pencils aligned and I could just bring the ruler to it. But since I only have 2 hands, and all of you only have 2 hands or less, we are going to do the rotation method. Put the pencil down and then rotate about that point. And then find where we want to go and connect the dots. So, there we go. Now for fun, you could add some colors to these sides. You could do a little shading to make the 3D really happen. I won't get into shading, but you could decide what side your light source is coming from and shade the back side of all these things. Now they're all facing totally different directions, so it's going to be a judgment call on what side is facing away from the light and what side is facing the light best. But you can have fun with it. You can just make it random colors if you like. But at any rate, I hope you had fun drawing with me, and we have a lot more practice aligning things with our rulers. So when we go on to our next lessons about drawing in perspective, we got this ruler part down pat. All right, see you next time.